Good evening. This is the Elliott wave update for the Nasdaq 100 and the S&P 500 for Wednesday, December 14th, 2022. Well, the Fed came, the Fed spoke, and so did its chairman. And the initial reaction off of that, what was expected rate hike, was down, was rejection. And that we got our hints that was going to be the case. Starting here with the Nasdaq, I have now put the C in the 2, but I'm going to be very honest with you. This has not been an easy count. And the reason is, number one, that it's corrective. When we seem to get into what I perceive as a clean 5, it ends up being a C wave. And so it continues to kind of throw me off a little bit, because we definitely, that clean 5 up, that was there. But then thinking that was a C wave and that we were going to start coming down is what really kind of caught me off guard a little bit. But then we catch it and we get their moves, and then we can understand. So that's what I mean about a difficult count. When we're in like a C wave or a third wave, or depending on the degree, it should become very clear and we should move very freely within it. And so what I'm presenting right now would suggest that. So again, just moving out to the 4-hour chart, that we do have, I'm leaving that primary B there, and I feel that that's where we're at. I think that the wave 2 is now complete. We gave it our best shot at trying to head back towards that, and leaving the number itself, leaving the data itself to give it that additional push, and it did not. It did not. But prior, we saw a lot of movement heading to the, they were trying to buy it and just position themselves in that way. But I want to add, what also adds confusion to this is that, number one, there's a lot of pre-timed orders. So a lot of orders will go into the funds, will go into the brokers, and they then time it. They put it together. We're going to buy here, we're going to sell there, we're going to do this. And if it's buy open, sell open, they time them. And that's where VWAP comes in. And so they're always going to be looking to improve VWAP. So they may have large orders that they break up and they take during different times during the day. And that works on both sides. So today, I think, and adding into those pre-standing orders, we had major moves in Moderna. Because they have a new, based on the mRNA data, or the RNA, using the RNA of a virus, they've been able to really stop it from replicating, and basically then just gets it ineffective when people get viruses. But now they have developed, using the mRNA technology, they have now figured a cancer drug that can, I think, kill the cancer. And that's major. That's major when you think about it. If they have something that actually, instead of just going in and not allowing the virus or whatever it is to replicate, to grow, now they've gained the ability, at least with this particular cancer, to go in and stop it and kill it. So, I mean, that's what I read. And if I'm wrong on that, please somebody correct me in the comments, because I certainly don't want to be giving bad information. But I know they now have a drug where they've taken that technology and are applying it to a specific cancer. So it's good news. The stock was up, finished up $11, was up much more than that during the day. And so we saw a lot of positioning coming back into that. And again, we're at that time of year where you're going to have portfolio managers and fund managers, they're looking for places that they want to put money that has a little bit forward guidance going for it, that the price of the stock will go up, but also if there's a dividend, it'll increase, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And Moderna came out with the news. That was pretty good news. So moving forward, if they continue to apply this technology, it's going to be beneficial for the stock. Microsoft also continued to be active today, trading above 260, giving us a clear-cut clue of where that stock may or may not want to go for Friday. Remember, Friday is a quadruple expiration. That means we got bonds, we got commodities, we got stocks. we have futures all going off and all the options going off. So a lot of activity, a lot of movement. And in Microsoft, they gave us that clue. You went above 260. Are you looking for 260? You're looking for 265. You go check open interest to see what's going on, see how things are getting paired up. And it helps because now we know what the larger firms or what the somebody bigger may try to push coming into Friday, either against or for those strike prices. Again, technical tells us one thing. Reality tells us something else. And it only goes so far before the technical and the reality have to agree, because the reality will be stronger than that technical picture. The capabilities of what a simple Fibonacci retracements will go. When you're starting to work a Fibonacci number that will give you what this could do, and you're getting levels that are way up here, yeah, that gets presented, but it doesn't mean it's going to happen. The technical picture can give us an idea. The Elliott picture can give us even a little bit tighter, and with combined with Fibonacci on a tighter level will prove to be very valuable. And I've done that when I'm working here because I could give you where this could go, but then we can time it out and look at it all the way as we start to measure one wave against its partner wave, so to speak. If this is ABC, C wave is related to the A wave, and this one did. Because of the B wave putting in a new low, these second waves, or the C wave there, did come in 1.618, just about, in both the Nasdaq and the S&P against the A wave. So the beauty is there, and that gives us additional confirmation and strength to say, well, very likely because of what I'm seeing now, this is the end of intermediate wave 2. And if that's the case, what we've witnessed should continue very broadly and easily. So I wanted to put in one area, and again, it is going to be extensions. And the extensions are for the entire third wave, if indeed it is in play right now. Because I got to wait, because you saw the insanity coming into that last hour. I was like, what are they buying for now? All the data's come out. Even Powell was talking about, it's like, we're on track, we're not going to let up. We only did it now because per the data that they got, but they don't see it strong enough that they're going to be, and again, he mentions 2% target. 2% target on inflation. I'm like, yo, I don't know. If you guys are really going to stick to that, you're going to have to do a lot more raising than what you're doing. And if you start doing it at 50 basis points and then try to spin it out as being a major hike, a large hike, it's like, I get that when you want to place it against recent history. But if you want to place it against what you really need to do to grab inflation by the tail and whip it around, you're going to have to get in front of it and not be coming up from behind it. I'm going to leave that there. Now, back to this. If I'm going to put on the fibs for this wave 3, if indeed it's wave 3, and I'll tell you the other parts shortly, but let me get here because I don't want to take up too much time. All right, so going back down to the hourly chart. These were very strong. That rejection yesterday, as I talked about, spoke volumes to the pattern, spoke volumes to many things. But I had to leave open the option that we were going to run higher. And then suddenly today, when I'm watching and they're doing this, I'm like, okay, I have no idea what you're stepping in and buying it, other than Moderna, Microsoft, and Meta gained steam after they'd hit the market on a sell. They bought it all the way back, they dropped it back down, and then yet again, they go back in and do it one more time into the bell. Now, that may mean everything or nothing. A quick check, and again, it'll just be a quick check of just going down and looking at a line chart. You can see 1, 2, 1, 2. Not as clear when I go back over to that candles. 1, 2, 1. What was this? But down here it is a 2. So again, candlesticks, great. We can see the extremes. So what can we say? It was rejected. So we can get the extremes to see what the market actually did do. And that's useful. But these in and of themselves were very useful. This was on the fact that they only raised it 50 basis points because of what the Fed continues to say, what Powell continues to roll out. Inflation's still there. It's still stubborn. We're still in a fight. We're still going to win, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. He tried to pander to be ease on it, on the hope that they will get in control of inflation and that they will see evidence that it will be going down, and that there has been small evidence that it's relaxing a little bit. Not that it's turning and coming down. That is yet to be determined. So it was helping to put things into perspective to what he was saying in that what's happening in reality. So again, reality catches up with the technical. And we're going to go down. So what was all of that? On a hope, a whim, and a prayer. That's what it was. That he will get that rate cut or a lesser rate hike, and it will continue, and we'll get forward guidance that next time might be only 0.25%, et cetera, et cetera. Boom. And that was the rejection to say, no, it doesn't make any difference because inflation's still inflation, and we're still dealing with things as this. And then that hope, a whim came back, but you can see it if you want to connect it to particular waves. C wave, going in one direction. It should be powerful. It was. Wave 1, announcing a tone change. Should be powerful, but limited, and it was. A wave 2, hope is still alive. And it was. Wave 3, forget it. Here's the direction. Here's where we're going. What this was, again, I'm saying partly Microsoft, Moderna, Meta, and just the market. I think I just bought everything. And so be it. Now, where are we? What I think we do have that 2 there. And I'm counting this 1, 2, 1, 2. If it is a 2. Now, and that would suggest that we will, from the get-go, pretty much, when this market opens in 3 minutes, they are marking it a little bit lower, not by much, but a little bit lower, that we continue to go down. We've already been below 800. We've been as low as 729. We'll be taking that out. So, and that's on the hourly chart. So I'm looking for the wave 3 to come down. Here are the measurements. Now, wave 3, again, inside of a 5-wave decline, which started here, wave 3 should be the longest and the strongest. We're looking at the intermediate degree. So overall, that entire 3rd wave should be the longest and the strongest. Now we're inside of it. Whether this is minute 1 or minor 1, I'm going to call it minute 1, minute 2, we're in a minute 3. Still, that minute 3rd wave should be the longest and the strongest out of this first 5 minute. So I would expect it to get down below 11,000. I would expect this internal 3rd, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, get down into here, and then we're going to have minor 1. So again, we're doing the minors and excuse me, working our way lower. And that's where it starts to come in. 10,700, 10,326, 25, 10,043. And then finally, this 3rd wave should begin to take us sub 10,000. It's been interrupted so many times. Well, now we're getting it all together to realize, they're already telling us don't be looking for anything too great next year. So, but the market will hang its hat because now we got people with money desperate to park it somewhere. Well, Moderna was a good place. because there is the hope that that technology will take on and will be useful to produce profits for that company. What? I don't know. Boeing, yeah, they got a nice big order from United Airlines. Still yet to be seen, right? But yet, Boeing has, yeah, up a buck, sure. Money gets parked. Whether it gets moved later, who knows? But right now, that's what's kind of going on. All right, so, but I am looking for lower. But we need to play this continually to what's in front of us. And I'm telling you, today, that was the trick, the ticket, because the moves were wild. This one, crazy. Here you're getting a message clear as a bell. No, interest rates are going to continue to rise. I've been saying it. I'm saying, and folks, you know, really, you can sign up online to receive the auction results every single week, every single day that go along with the T-bills. And I have yet to see a T-bill auction for the last several months where the rate went down. So the rates on the T-bills, now it's a very short term. That's a 4-week, an 8-week, a 13-week, a 26-week, a 52-week. And that's short-term paper. Interest rates have gone up every single auction. So the government is unable to get lower rates. They got to pay higher rates. You need the dollars. It's a serious situation. So that's the Nasdaq. I am looking for it to continue to go lower. But these moves, we need to be able to trade. And if you're day trading, they can be deadly because you short it here and you thought, okay, I'll get a little bounce. And then you short it there and they keep going. And this is a 30-minute bar. So it's a long time to wait being in the wrong position, not knowing it was like, oh, I got an ABC. Maybe this thing just keeps going. And they are crazy because they're like, well, we'll get lower rates next time. Or whatever the situation might be. So you have to be prepared. I'm not seeing that we should get a whole lot more of those. I think that when the selling picks back up, it'll happen with purpose. Okay, I'm over to the S&P. Same deal. Seems to do a little bit better. The Nasdaq is nuts. And again, because of Microsoft and Moderna. More Moderna. Moderna at one point, combined with Microsoft, was about 7% of the move of the rally that we saw. 7% was from two stocks. So anytime it moved to the upside, it basically was two stocks contributing. Most of it. Anyway, S&P, I'm labeling that high at 4180 yesterday as the high of intermediate wave 2. And we're doing the same thing. Let me open that up just a tad so we can look in. This is a 30-minute. Let me go to the hourly. A little bit cleaner so we can see it because that's the one that I label off of. So 2, 1, 2, and look at that. It really is a nice clean. It really is clean. 1, 2, 1. Did that strange, but the 2 is going to be over here. So 1, 2. Again, everybody's just hanging out because they're not really sure what they should do. Because, okay, what we have coming tomorrow in terms of numbers, we have jobless claims, Philly Fed manufacturing, retail sales, and Empire State manufacturing, which isn't as important as the Philly. Those all come out at 8:30 Eastern. At 9:15, we get industrial production. Inflation, all of it is going to contribute to the inflation conversation. Will likely be interpreted however they want to interpret it, but I just don't see them getting away like, oh, it's bullish. Not after hearing from the Fed today, but they might. You know, people are people. Again, if we have a couple of stocks like Microsoft and Moderna going nuts again tomorrow to the upside, it's going to present a push for those that are choosing to sell because those stocks really have a reason to go up. Moderna more than Microsoft, which is why you saw Microsoft today go up, come down, go red, go back, go up, come down, go red. Moderna never went red. Moderna was green and up strong all day. That was the difference. All right, so those are the numbers that are coming out tomorrow, pre-market. So we already can be all the way down here. If they kind of kick in and people are like, ah, I agree. I got to hear what he's saying. I got to hear what he's saying. I come up with lower levels. Now we dipped below 4,000. I am pretty sure that if this is going to be a third wave, we're going to dip below 4,000 for good. And we're going to start heading down to 3,900. And we might get there pretty quick. So there are a lot of people that are calling for something pretty, I am calling for a strong move, intermediate degree third. That's a pretty strong move. But I mean, there are people that are calling for this thing to turn into a bloodbath. And I don't see it quite that strongly, but the wave pattern that they see coming in here is a lot stronger than what I am envisioning what's going to come. But a primary C wave down, and we're starting the middle part of it, should be pretty intense. Okay, so I need to go back out, go up to the 4 hour and put in our fibs for this guy. So we're going to go to the top of wave 1, to the bottom of wave 1, to the top of wave 2, and then drop back down. So now we have our fibs, the absolute bare bones minimum, and that is even nothing for the third wave, just as a resting point at 2.236. 39.87. We nearly got there today. We were $10 off. I think we can get down there. We might rest and then continue to drop. Our next level in this third wave, and again, we're in the beginning stages. So minute 1, minute 2, we're in minute 3, sub-minute 1, sub-minute 2. We're in that third, can come down into here, do a 4 to 5, and maybe the minute third gets us to 38.66. Maybe we do a little 4, we get a 5, and then we have a minute 5. We have minor 1 of intermediate 3 down to here, maybe in here. But I'm saying we should decline now. And we have reason that they should be very discernible patterns again. All right. Trend is down. Okay. We're in a down move. It's going to be counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numerous times because we have 2 degrees to go. Right. We're starting on a minute degree. And then from there, we build on the minor degree. And from there, we build to the intermediate degree. So here's the breakdown. Within minor wave 1, there are 5 waves of minute degree. 1 and 2 are done. We're into the third. It should expect a serious drop. Now, once that minor wave 1 is done, that's minor wave 1 of intermediate 3. We're going to have 5 waves of minor degree to complete that third wave. So now you're going to see how we're building this. Same way we're starting to build it. We go from one level to the next level, and the picture gets bigger as we go out. So you can see the depth. Now, the whole thing, the whole third wave, it will be equal to wave 1 at 33.55. I would suspect that we may get down a little bit further, go up in an intermediate 4, come back down in an intermediate 5, and end up somewhere around 3,039 to 28.44. I've got some other stronger points at 29.80. That's even a bigger picture fib. Doesn't mean it has to stop there, but it could drift because it's such a big picture, drifting down to 28.44 and then launching off of that. Very, very real. Because remember, I'm counting a intermediate 5 waves down to complete a primary C wave. Just a quick review of that big picture. If I'm completing a primary C wave down, that's then going to complete all the way from that top, all the way from that top level, a cycle wave A. From that point, folks, I do think we rally, and we rally strongly. But I think we got enough to go down before we get there that it's going to shake up a lot of people. We've not been below 30. We've been down in lows 3,500 for this correction. We clip off another 500 points or more, 500 to 700 S&P points before we put in a major rally, totally within the picture. Totally. All right. So time frame on this, we are definitively out into 2023. If I'm looking for that cycle wave A low I would think at least the next 6 months, 6.5 months now, at least before we get there. There's a lot to unroll. And again, we got to deal with everything else. So we got a lot of stuff that's going to push the market in both directions because nothing goes straight down or up. And depending on degree, right now we're on an intermediate that's going to complete a primary and a cycle. But then we're starting a cycle degree B wave. And what's inside of that? Well, a primary ABC up. What's inside that first primary wave A? A primary ABC of intermediate degree. We're going to start it all over. We're going to do letters. So again, counter trend letters, trend numbers. Okay, I am going to end it there. I don't want to be talking here all night. So I know I probably could, and I apologize. Our next update will be Thursday, December the 15th.